So yeah guys, I'm just making this video because I said I was gonna do a part 2 of this video entitled "You Must," or not, not even you must, but just accept the reality of your low SMV. Okay, and that video was actually quite well received. To my surprise, it was quite well received in the sense that I didn't get the dislikes that I was expecting. So maybe some of you guys are starting to wake up to the reality, which is, that's the whole point of this. But the reason why I'm doing a part 2, and I don't want to make these kind of videos that much, but the reason why I'm doing a part 2 is simply because this stuff has to be said. It's not that I want to make videos on this topic as such, but I had to say it. I had to get it out there. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to say it and I'm going to get it out there. So, one point I really wanted to hammer home, which I didn't hammer home in the first part, but I've said this before, but it's important that I incorporate it or include it in this video, okay, is that the aspect of competitiveness, okay? What we have to understand is that this whole dating stuff, okay, is a competition. And why is it a competition for some of you guys who may not understand that, which I think all of you guys should, but for you guys who may not understand why is it a competition, it's a competition simply because of the fact that when you interact with a female, okay, when you interact with a female, she is talking to other guys. She is open, okay, to dating other guys also. So basically what it is that she's gonna pick one or zero of those guys, but let's just go with the case that she's gonna pick one. She's gonna pick one of those guys, okay? So this is the thing. If you understand that dating is indeed a competition, then wouldn't the logical choice would be to do the things necessary in order to enable you to beat your competition? If I was the manager of a sports team, okay, doesn't matter what sports team it is, but if I'm the manager of a sports team, I have to set my team up with a strategy or some form of tactics. I don't just send my team out to play, but I send them out with some form of strategy or a form of tactics in order to allow them to stand the best chance of going out there and getting the results. Okay? Same thing if I start up a business. If I start up a business, I have to have a plan. I have to have a strategy of how am I going to beat these individuals, because you're going to compete. How am I going to beat them? So when I look at the dating scene, I see guys that are whining and complaining about how they don't get any results, but they never talk about what they're actually doing to get the results. They don't have any strategy. They have none. Notice how you never hear them talk about what strategies, what they're doing, what they're changing, what are they trying to implement in order to get the result. They never talk about it because they're not doing anything. Swiping on Tinder is not a dating strategy, you moron. That's not a dating strategy. Dating strategy means you gotta be creative. You gotta actually go out there and test the field test, and try the waters for yourself. Otherwise, how are you gonna know? See, the PUA industry, they try to sell you a lie, because what they're selling you is the idea that you can just approach a female. If you find her attractive, then that's how you should go. You should go based upon what you find attractive. Which, I'm not saying that you should go for what is unattractive. But what I'm saying is, what does that female being attractive have to do with you being able to get her? What does that female being attractive have to do with you being appealing to that female? Absolutely nothing. You have to be able to look at certain individual and say, you know what, I can see what that person's about. A lot of you guys aren't perceptive. I don't know if that's your autism. I don't know what it is. But a lot of you guys aren't perceptive. And, you know, one of the problem I have with the manosphere is that they're selling this idea, this mythical concept that all women are the same. Now, yeah, I get it with female nature. What is female nature to me? Women are out there for themselves. That's simple. They are out there for themselves. They're not out there to benefit you. They're out there to benefit themselves. That to me is female nature. I don't need to go into half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour to talk about female nature. This is simple. They're out there for themselves. But does that mean all women are the same? No. It doesn't mean that. See, if you believe that, then you're already harming yourself and your own chances. Because if all women are the same, how the hell are you going to know what women to go for? You're not. You're not going to know what kind of women to go for, and that's why you're getting such poor results. Those guys who have perceived low SMV, they can still get the results, but they know what they're doing. They know where to go. They know where to position themselves. They know what kind of women to go for. You guys who are going cold turkey, thinking you're going to get results. You know, PUA, okay? Cold approach. According to Steve Jabba, who's a PUA himself. Some of you guys may know Steve Jabba, English PUA. Okay? Steve Jabba said PUA has a success rate of 2%. Now, that's not 2% for you, though. That's 2% for the guys who actually have done it a lot. Okay, that have the experience, and they've done it a lot. And these are guys who do it all day. That's pretty much their job. So if they're doing that all day and that's their job and they only get a 2% success rate, what the hell's your success rate going to be? You know, the moderator I had on the other channel, Patrick Bateman III, some of you guys may know him as COQ, some of you guys probably don't know him, but he did 400 approaches in order to get a result. Okay? In order to get a result, you know what that is? If my math is correct, which I'm pretty sure it is, that's a success rate of 0.25%, or 0.25%. That was his success rate. Okay? And that was for a 40-year-old co-parenting mother of 3, if I remember correctly. So, can you get results in day game, in night game, in cold approach? Yes, but your results are going to be very limited. Because why? Because they're just approaching random women. Is it better than online dating? Yes. Online dating, you're going to need to message thousands. You're going to end up like that guy. You know, and for a lot of you guys who are autistic, it's not going to work for you. You're going to end up like that guy in the Shy Boys documentary. I'll never forget what that guy said. That autistic guy. You know, he's like, I've been rejected over 3,000 women. The way he said it was so autistic. 3,000 women, 2,000 in real life, 1,000 online. 2,000 rejections, guys, for autistic guys. You know, and I already said in my other video, if you have autism, you're gonna need to relocate or make a lot of money. Some of you autistic guys, why has it taken you so long to realize what your SMV is, which is 0? Why has it taken you guys so long? You would think that you would realize this. You would think that you would realize this sooner. You would think that it wouldn't take so long for you to realize how low your SMV really is. But, you know, a lot of men are delusional. Okay? So, I got a list of topics here that I want to discuss in this video. So, you know, if you want to talk about, like, doing the basics, okay? Doing the basics. Because a lot of you guys, you're not even doing the basics. I look at how some of you guys dress. You know, you're not dressing in a manner in which is well calibrated. You're not dressing in a way that communicates that you are normal or that you are well socially adjusted. Okay, you're dressing in some old style from 2001, 2005. You're walking around, you know, with a bandana and baggy jeans. This is not, you know, 2005, bro. You see, a lot of you guys don't even do the basics right. You're dressing in a completely, and you know, women are just gonna look at you and say this guy's out of style. You know, and the truth is, does fashion matter? Yes, and it matters more for people who are located in or near the fashion capitals of the world. Okay? London, Paris, I believe Milan in Italy. These are fashion capitals where women are fashionable. They have fashion shows. I've actually been to a fashion show once, but they have fashion shows. They have, you know, Fashion Week and London Fashion Week and so. So women are very fashionable in general. Okay. If you are dressing in a manner which is just completely out of style, you're already eliminating your chances of even getting a large section of women. Already, just by that, you're eliminating it. Because women are quick to write a guy off. You know that. Women are very quick to write. So why are you giving them the opportunity to write you off? You're giving them the opportunity to write you off just by the way that you dress. Now, some parts of the world, you know, some parts of the country, fashion is not of major importance. And also, typically the places where fashion are of major importance, London, New York, also places like LA, you're going to have a lot of money as well. Because where the fashion is important, the money is also important. Some of you guys are going to need to relocate. You can't keep living in these high cost, you know, very, very fashion conscious, very liberal areas. You're not going to get any results. If you can't fit in, you go elsewhere. Stop sitting there and whining, complaining. Well, you're not going to get any results by whining and complaining. You have to relocate. You have to do that. There's no other alternatives for you guys. You can't think that some genie is going to pop out of a bottle and grant you 3 wishes. No. It's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. So stop living in hope. Because that's one thing that I've gone against for the longest time. Stop living in hope that things are going to change for you. Ain't nothing going to change for you. Nothing will change. You have to change yourself. You know? See, I understand the psychology of these individuals. and I understand how they think, which is why I'm able to speak in so much detail, okay, so much detail on this topic. You know, women are gonna go for guys that they can relate to, guys that are part of the mainstream, guys that are well socially adjusted. Some of you guys think that being this edgy guy, being this, you know, you're gonna end up like that guy who killed Bianca Devins. You know, this edgy crap. You know, I'm some edgy guy, man. I'm going on 4chan. Stop going on 4chan. What the hell's wrong with you? Even at my lowest point, even when I was a complete and utter loser, I never went on 4chan. If you're going on 4chan, you're guaranteed to be an incel. You know, or you're dating some crazy chicks that you know you're not gonna get any real relationship, bro. You can't even be a beta box because you're a loser. You know, you can't. 4chaners aren't making millions. They're not even making hundreds of thousands. They're all poor and losers and jacking off to hinty porn. That's what they're doing. Stop going on 4chan. Stop going on 8chan. Stop associating with losers. That's why you're not getting results. Stop going onto these live streams with these losers. I can't even listen to that. See, my self-improvement level has got to a point where these individuals make me sick. They make me sick to my stomach. I want them put in concentration camp. You know, I'm not talking about like murderous concentration camp. I'm talking about like concentration camp where their brain is forced to be reprogrammed. These people make me sick. See, when you get to that level of self-improvement, you are sickened by these individuals. They are sickening, almost like rapists and pedophiles. They are sickening to you because of how much of a loser they are. And it's their own fault. If you associate with these people, you're going to continue. You're going to continue. It's like the retarded guy who got my channel closed. He's like, well, I had friends, but they were all, what do you say? When I was a teenager, I had friends, but they were all nerds. Well, that's your problem. You don't have any friends because they're losers. They don't fit into the mainstream. We're talking about not nowadays nerd, because nowadays nerds is different. Nerd in today's culture is now seen as a, you know, nerd has gone mainstream. You know, with shows like The Big Bang Theory and all these other shows, they've pushed the nerd to the mainstream. You know, but we're talking about back in the 90s when this 40-year-old guy, he's in his 40s, was a kid, was a teenager. Those nerds were not accepted. And you can just look at the movies and you see how the nerds were viewed. They were viewed very negatively. So why fit in? Why are you trying to fit in? You don't want to change, but yet you want, you know, I always say this, like, you don't want to be a normie, but you want to date normie women. But normie women are going to go for other normie guys. So how the hell are you going to get any results? And it's not like you guys are chasing money or fame. If you were chasing money or fame, then that's different. You can say, well, I've got something to offer. You guys got nothing to offer, but yet you're expecting results. This is the delusion, and this is a problem with you guys. You're not going to get any results because how are you going to get results? You have no strategy, you have no money, you have no skill, you're not relatable. So how the hell are you going to get any results? You're not going to get any results. You got nothing. You're a zero. I see these guys say, well, I'm an average guy. Women don't want average men. You're not average. Get that nonsense out of here. You're not average, bro. You're a zero. That's your level 0. You're not average. Stop deluding yourself about the way you are in the food chain, guys. I say this to people. Stop deluding. You're not average. Get that through your thick skull. You're not average. They want to tell you that average men ain't getting no results. And this leads on to another point, that what they want to tell you, right, is that it's too hard to get women in today's society. Okay? Now, what determines the difficulty of a task? What determines the difficulty of a task? I'll tell you what determines the difficulty of a task. How many people are able to complete that task? I'll give you an example of something that's incredibly difficult. Okay? So Eddie Hall, the power lifter, the world's strongest man, he broke the record to lift 500 kg deadlift. Okay? First man to do it. Some other guy recently done it, some Icelandic guy. He goes by the name of Thor, his nickname. Only 2 men have pulled 500 kilograms deadlift off the ground. Okay, it's incredibly difficult to do it. You can't even get close. That's something that's incredibly difficult to do. Okay, is dating incredibly difficult to do? Well, if it is, then why do so many men have women? Why have so many men dated women? Because it's not that hard. It's like, a test, for example, a test, an exam, okay? Let's say like a driving test, okay? This is how stupid it is. So some people struggle at driving, okay? Some people struggle at driving. They can't learn how to drive a car, okay? So this individual, let's say they say, oh, it's too hard to do the driving test. The driving test is too hard. Well, I can go outside and I can see cars on the road. There's millions of cars on the road. So how the hell can it be too hard to drive? See how they try to pass the blame to everybody else. If it's so hard to drive, why are there millions of cars on the road? If it's so hard to get women, why are there millions of guys with women? Because your ideology, your logic doesn't make any sense. It's you that's the problem. You're blaming the women. It's got nothing to do with the women because you're competing with other men. Your competition is other men. That's the crux of your problem. You can't compete, guys. You can't compete. And the thing is, you're terrified of competition. And this brings me on to, I think this will be my final point before I close this out. Actually, no, I got 2 more points to make. This brings me on to this whole thing where this is their strategy, okay? They can't get women because they're so low on the food chain. So what they do is they go for uglier women, okay? This is what they do. So instead of accepting that, they have to change in order to get the results, they don't change, they stay the same, and they just go for uglier and uglier and uglier women. That's not a dating strategy. That's what they call a race to the bottom. Because you're so terrified of self-improvement, you're so terrified of competition, that what you do is you run away from it and you just say, okay, I'm going to go for uglier women, uglier women, uglier women. And what happens? Because your SMV is a 0, okay, you're not going to get any results because you're still a 0. It doesn't change when you go for a 2 or a 3, you're a 0. So you're still not going to get any results. And that's the reality of it. It is the same guys who sit there and say, oh, you men are simps, oh, you guys are this, oh, women have so many options. You're the one who's giving women the options, though, because you're going for uglier women, you stupid moron. What the hell's wrong with you guys? See, this is how stupid these guys are. It's so easy to refute them because their stuff doesn't even make any sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. If you can't get a result, okay, you have to change. It's that simple. You're going to say, well, women should change. Well, women ain't going to change. So what are you going to do about it? You guys refuse to go your own way. You refuse to go your own way. You refuse to do the self-improvement. So you're going nowhere. You're going absolutely nowhere. Ain't nothing going to change. Self-improvement is the way to get out of the situation. Okay? You don't want to do it, fine, don't do it. Don't do it, but you're going to remain in the position that you're in. Okay? And that brings me on to this point here that, people want to say, oh, it's all about being a select male. You got to be a select male. Okay? If you're not selected, you need to be pre-selected by women. I don't know who came up with this nonsense. Okay? I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to be pre-selected. I'm not saying that, but the idea that you have to be pre-selected by women, or women only date the top 20% of guys, or all this nonsense that they come up with, right? Let me tell you something. That's not true. It's not true. Women are going to date the guys that are around them. Okay? Women are not hyper-focused on going for the best top-tier guy that they can find. This is what they claim hypergamy. Does hypergamy exist? Yes. But are most women practicing it? Especially because let's be honest, most of the women that you guys are going to get is going to be average. Let's be honest, you're not getting the 8s, 9s, and 10s. You're not getting that. So most of the women you're going to get is going to be average. Are average women practicing hypergamy to the maximum? No, they're not. They're not doing that. How do I know? Because I live in a normal area with average people. And most of the top tier people, they're in the rich areas. Most of you guys ain't around the rich people anyway. And you don't have access to those events that they go to, the VIPs. You don't have access, so it's not even nothing to do with you. Do you need to be a select male? No. You know, I did some research, okay? And this was a small research, and I'm not saying that this was a conclusive, but I just want to give you some insight into some research that I did. I asked women, okay? I asked women that were dating guys that were more attractive than they are. And I asked them, so why and how did you meet these women? Okay, like, sorry, these guys that they're with. And these were not good-looking guys. These were not rich guys. These were guys that you would be perceived as having low SMV. But yet they had decent to good-looking women. So I asked them, okay? I asked them, what came up in my research was that women would say that, you know, I met this guy at work, or I met this guy at school, or I met this guy, you know, a few would say they met online, but most would be work, school, or through friends, okay? That would be the most part. And what came up is that, you know, a lot of these women, right, they would say that initially they weren't all that attracted to these guys. But as the time progressed, okay, as the time progressed, the attraction started to grow, okay? That's what they told me, okay? So is it about being a select male? No, it's not about being a select male. Because just because you're a select male, or just because you're not a select male, doesn't mean that you can't interact with those females and increase their attraction to you. I'm not a dating coach. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not a dating coach. But what I'm going to tell you is that that works because guys are doing it. How do you think those guys are getting women? You know, they're not getting women off the LMS, look money status. They're not getting them off of that. They're getting them because they know what women to go to, they know where to meet them, and they know how to interact with them. That's why. That's why they're getting the results. A lot of you guys think, oh, I have to be in the top 20%. No, you don't have to be in the top 20%. These guys are fooling you. It's not about being in the top 20%. You know, having a good, sorry, let's play this out here. Having a good strategy, you know, you gotta have some value, okay? You gotta have some value, don't get me wrong. Some of you guys have no value. You gotta have some kind of value, but your skills and your ability to interact with these females, and this is not PUA. A lot of you say this is PUA. That's not PUA, because PUA advocates for you to go up to any woman you find attractive and do a game on her. One PUA, Mr. Lucario, I heard this guy say, this one fat guy asked him, if I did PUA on Kate Upton, okay, would it work? Okay, this guy literally said, what Mr. Lucario said, yeah, you can get Kate Upton. He said, why? He said, because Kate Upton's a woman. This is what PUAs believe. PUA is just, you know, you can't disregard. I mean, I'm not saying don't approach women, but the way that PUAs do it, it's not effective. Like I said, they're operating at a 2% success rate, and that's the top PUAs, the top ones. So that's the thing, what we gotta understand, okay? That, you know, it's not PUA, because PUA, they don't really have a strategy. Now some of them are starting to adapt this strategy, but for the most part, the PUA in general is just, you see a hot woman, and you see these dating videos, you see a hot woman, oh, just go and approach her. But that doesn't tell you. You gotta know some little thing about that female. You know, you gotta know some little thing about that female, so that's gonna allow you to have those conversations better. Otherwise, you're gonna get some terrible success rate. You know, you're gonna get some absolutely terrible success rate, guys. So, you know, I've gone on for a long time here, and you know, I just need to hammer this point home. That, you know, these PUAs and incels have something very similar in common, that they really try to dance around the aspect of becoming successful. And they say that your position in life has nothing to do with your success rate with women. That it's all about game, or it's all about just being this fictional character who is just he's so appealing and so attractive that women are just bowing to his feet. All this is nonsense. The guys who are successful in life, they're not complaining about women. It doesn't matter how much game they have, okay? It doesn't matter about game. It doesn't matter about, what do you call it? I'm not saying that there's nothing to do with game, like there is a game to a certain extent, but if you're successful, you're not worrying about that stuff. Because your success, okay, your success in life is going to result in you getting options. Yes. How do you know that? Because you go and look at any industry, whether you're in business, whether you're in sports, whether you're in finance, you're in whatever field you're in. Look at the guys who are successful in that field. Are they on the internet complaining about women? No, they're not. Look at the guys on YouTube that are generating views. Are they complaining about women? No. In fact, they are dating well above their own level in looks because they're successful. So that's the final point I want to leave you guys with, okay? There is no substitute to success. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you are informed every time